All right, guys, how's it going? In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about fire management and how you can more or less try to control the temperature on an offset smoker. This is my offset smoker right here, guys. I built this rig right here. That's a 60-gallon stand-up compressor, I think, Craftsman compressor. Firebox right there, 4x4 inch smokestack. I've got some briskets in there right now, and as you guys can see or cannot see, the smoke coming out of there. And if you guys can't see any smoke in there, that's because I'm running a clean fire. Let's go ahead and check out what's going on in here. Okay, that's a clean coal bed right there. See that? That's what you guys want right there. That's it. And the reason I had the door closed on there, because that's a way to control your temperature. You see how on my hot side I'm running a little bit on the plus side of 300, just above 300. On the cool side, running about 250, just around 250. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's about 4 in the morning right now. Like I said, I've got 2 briskets in there, but this video here is about fire management. So as you guys can see, I've got some splits up on top of the firebox right there. This is 3/8 inch steel right here. This is about the tank, the cooking chamber. Not so thin. I'm probably gonna guesstimate it's probably about 1/8 thick. So that's pretty good. I mean, you want to go ahead and have at least a 1/4 inch on both. I've met the requirement here on this one. It said it's 3/8. This one's about 1/8, but that's all I had. But some of the restaurant grade rigs, for business purposes, they'll go at least a 1/4 inch, and they're a little bit more efficient. They lose less of the heat, they retain more of the heat. But for me, you know, this is gonna have to do. But anyways, the fire management, all the thicknesses of the steel come into play. I went ahead and I did the firebox out of 3/8 inch steel because it was doable for me. It was some leftover material I did from a job. I am a welder or iron worker. Welders are different. Iron worker is more precise. You guys can see the 433 right there. Yeah, buddy. What's up, guys? What's going on? Shout out to all 433. But yeah, this is my rig right there. So, anyways, fire management. You need to get to know your offset. If you have an offset, this is totally different than a pellet fed smoker. The pellets, you plug them into the wall, fill up your little pellet feeder, and you can go to sleep. You don't have to be out here 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. You could be in bed and plug it, pretty much like plug and forget. Set your temperatures up and it'll do all the work for you. And a stick burner, which is what I've heard people call them, are different. You have to man it. You have to maintain it. Every so often, you have to put a fire log in there, and you have to know how your pit runs. right there. See, I'm maintaining a steady 250 degrees there. And so the size of splits matters a lot, as far, so you want to avoid temperature spikes and temperature drops. So I've got different sizes of wood splits here. I've got these right here. You guys can gauge it by my hand here. And then I've got these long ones here, right there. And I've got them on top of the firebox for a reason. So when you're cooking with wood, you have to make sure your wood is seasoned. What does that mean? It means that your moisture temperature can't be no more than 20%, I believe. It has to be dry enough so it doesn't produce some dirty smoke. When your wood is moist, it's wet, it's freshly cut, it's not ready to cook. It might be good for bonfires, some other stuff, but it's not ready for cooking. The seasoning process takes about 6 months to a year, depending on how you cut your wood. There's some mechanical ways to season your wood, to dry it out, to get all the moisture out of it. They're called kilns. Unfortunately, I don't have the kiln, but I do have time, and I do have the top of this firebox. So that's what I'm doing. I chop them up. I'll split them up. I'll get the splits about that size right there, and I'll chop them down even more, and then I'll put them on top of the firebox here, and I'll chop up a bunch of it, and I'll set it off to the side, and that's how I dry up my wood right there. So whenever you notice your pit drop down in temperature, and you'll find out as you cook, the more you cook on your rig, the more you'll know how she behaves. And you guys can see right here, I'm dropping a little bit on the 200 side. This is the cool side. This is the hot side. Obviously, it's closer to the fire, but I also get a little temperature spike up towards the end over here, and you need to know that your cool spots in your rig. But anyways, yeah, basically on a rig like this, it's not that hard. You see the temperature drop on your gauges here, like it is already here. I opened up the vent, the door, and it's coming down a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll get one of these guys that's been preheating in the on top of the firebox here, guys. I'll grab this guy, drop it in there, drop him in there, and check that out. Check out how quick that guy caught. And that's what you want. You don't want to put a cold log in there and have it smolder and spew out all that white smoke. That's what you don't want. You guys can see up there on the stack, see very little smoke, and that's what some people call the blue smoke. You guys can see not a very little smoke right there. You can see it billowing out, and that's what you guys want right there. If you see a bunch of white smoke coming out of there, no good. No good. You don't want that. You want a clean burning fire like what I've got right there. That's it. Not a whole lot of smoke. You got some, obviously, but you don't want a whole bunch of it going into your food, because you will taste it. Be burping it up later. There it is right there. Okay, and so you can control your temperature also in another way, like I did right here. Some guys will make their pits, their firebox, and they'll have sliding vents right here on the side. I didn't do that, and I'll tell you why. Because this is the only way I like to control the airflow. You control the airflow in there by the door. That's it right there, guys. That's it. If it's getting out of hand, if you get a temperature spike like it is right here, see, that's 300 plus, but over here we're at just under 300, and that's where I want it. That's where I don't want it to go any more than that. If it gets away from me, what I'll do is I'll shut it down like that. And I can also do another thing. When I built this pit, a lot of people like to have dampers on their smokestacks. Well, I like to control it is, well, I didn't put one on there, but I can find a flat piece of. There they go. I hope I don't wake up the neighbors. I can put a flat piece of wood up here, leave a little bit open. That controls your airflow all the way up in there. You snuff out the airflow a little bit, and it'll bring down your temperature. You see this one here, it's just under 300 right there, and that's where I want it. This one's getting away from me a little bit, but that's fine because that's closer to the hot box over here. This all the heat just barrels in right in there, but my food is all the way back in here. So this is the ideal temperature that I want, anywhere between 250 and 275. It's where I want it. And so I don't need all these sliding vents right here. I don't think they're of any use to me, so I didn't put any on it. You guys can see the opposite side of it. I don't see the need for those. If I want to, if I see it's snuffing out too much, what I'll do is I'll just pop it open a little bit here and leave it like that. That's more than enough vents. Why put this stuff here? I think that's just fancy stuff that you don't need it. But you see how it went down from where I had it open? You see how it calmed it down by me just closing the door like that. And that's how you can control your temperature. You see it's holding out just above 300 right now. And this one just came down to 250 by just me putting that thing on there and closing the door. You can control your temperature like that, guys. If you want to bring it up a little bit more, you can put it to the halfway point right there. You see that smoke coming out right there. And if it gets too cold for you, then you can just go ahead and leave it all the way open like that. And that's your one of the ways of controlling your temperature right there, guys. So the frequency of how you feed your pit. Let's see if we can see if we can get a temperature spike right now as I remove the damper cover over there, my makeshift damper cover. We'll see if we get a temperature spike. Yep, we are. You see that? See how it's going up? 300, This one is climbing up too. You see what I'm saying, guys? That's how you control your temperature in your pit. A lot of people just control it by the damper cover. They'll leave this open right here, and they'll just control that up there, and that's how you control your temperature. And like I was saying, the frequency of how you feed your fire, also it depends. You have to know your pit. Me, I'm probably dropping one of these guys in here every 35, every 40 minutes. Since it is an offset smoker, it's not an oven. It doesn't maintain a constant temperature, so you're gonna have ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. But you try to minimize that, and you try to compensate a little bit with your vents. So my vent is this one here. That's the main one. That's the only one I need to control that, and the damper up there. So yeah, that's pretty much it right there on the fire management, guys. These guys, obviously, they'll burn a lot hotter. If I make a run to the store and I gonna be more than 30-40 minutes gone, I pop one of these guys in there, close the door there, maybe halfway on the damper up there, and it can ride a little bit, because my, I don't know, maybe my store run might go for an hour or something, and I come back and I see just a small coal bit in there. But look at that, look at how calm that fire is after I close this up right there. Now this door here doesn't 100% seal everything. It's got a little vent down here at the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. So it's not 100% sealed off when I close that. It's still got a little opening there, a little breather. So it does get some air still in it, but yeah, that's the only vents I have. That the door and the damper is the only way I control the fire. And yeah, guys, just make sure your wood is seasoned, dry enough for cooking, and preheated on top of your firebox, like I'm doing here. You see how it's almost turning into charcoal there? That one is ready to go. All these logs here are ready to go. As I take one from here and put it in the fire, I'll replace it with another one here from there, and put it on top of the smoke box to preheat it. And once you dump it in there, it catches just like that. So yeah, guys, that's my little take on fire management there on this type of pit. If you want to get into this type of cooking, you have to get to know your pit. You have to just use it, fire it up, and temperature gauges, thermometers. I use various types of thermometers. I use these two on here. These two thermometers. I have Bluetooth thermometers, send information to my phone. I have instant read thermometers, and yeah, you need all the information you can when you're running one of this. Excuse me, guys. When you're running one of these rigs, you need a lot of information. It's all hands-on. Like I said, it's not like one of those pellet grills that you can plug it and go to bed and let that thing run. This one, you have to be hands-on. You have to be proactive. You have to stay on top of it, and that's what I like. I like, out here. Look at the day. It's beautiful, beautiful skies. Not too many stars, but man, it's quiet. I'm the only one out here. Probably some neighbors might be like, "Oh, what the hell?" But I try to be as quiet as I can during the morning. But yeah, this is therapeutic for me, guys. And like I said, make sure your wood is dry. Make sure your wood is the proper wood too. You don't want to use just any type of wood. Pines are no good for cooking. You want to make sure you have to get the hard woods, the oak, the pecan, the cherry, the apple, the walnut, the mesquite, and they all have different flavor profiles. You can definitely taste it. Pecan, what I have here is a little bit of milder wood for cooking. The oak, it's a little heavier, but you can mix them up. I have oak and pecan, but you have to make sure that they are seasoned, dry enough to cook. Because if they're not, if you just chopped it down and it's moist, you get it in here, you're gonna ruin your barbecue. All that smoke, all that steam coming out of it, soot, it's gonna get on your food, and you're gonna be really mad. You're gonna be disappointed. So dry wood, seasoned wood, preheated on top of your firebox. The frequency, you got to know it. For this one, like I said, 30, 45 minutes. Also depends on the ambient temperature out here. This is where we are in Southern California. It doesn't ever get freezing. It's a bit nippy right now. I don't know. Probably low 70s. And all that plays into your fire management, guys. The thickness of your pit and all that stuff. But you just got to get to cooking and find out what your pit does, and take notes and better it every time. All right, guys. Hopefully that helps you guys. That helps you guys out. If you guys are, just starting out, and if you guys got any questions, anything I didn't cover, hit me up in the comments. All right. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.